Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Accessibility and Landscape It's Time to Take Action webinar. In an era where 15% of the world's population faces some form of disability, there's never been a time more important than now to ensure landscape design incorporates accessibility for everyone.
If I am to give a very short comment or an idea to kickstart this conference or this panel, is that we have to think responsible into the future.
The material falls into two categories. One of them is really the legal and institutional bylaws and so on. And the other is the designers, which is very much the subject of our talk today. There is a very important epistemic change to the concept of disability, namely to think of it not as a problem to solve, but rather as a challenge that we have to take.
This person in this picture is Carl Lewis. He's a full-time design studio faculty member with disability. And I had the privilege of having Carl as my instructor and academic advisor during my master's studies. And I learned firsthand about accessibility from him. Carl was an expert in accessibility and made significant contribution to the Americans with Disability Act. He was my first direct encounter with someone with disability. So despite using a wheelchair, he was active and able to move around the buildings and campus. He even took us for a tour around the building, and the question was always in my mind how he was able to do that. And the answer was quite simple. Our town, university, and buildings and facilities were designed to be accessible to all people. So as a landscape architect taught by a person with disability, I feel a strong obligation to contribute to this cause in any way I can.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm very, very pleased to be here. So please thank you for inviting me. And accessibility is very important for Red Sea. It's high on our agenda and it's very close to our hearts. I met Michael myself last year at the Landscape Middle East Awards, and subsequently we also heard our group head of design, Scott Henshaw, speak a little bit. Has met up with the guys on the climate action walk, and Michael has visited subsequently our offices and basically got the grand tour also in support of the initiative and also as a show that this is indeed a very important subject for us at Red Sea. As our CEO mentioned, 1.3 billion disabled people globally. So it's not only inexcusable for us as an industry to exclude so many people, it's also commercially short-sighted. Red Sea has a pledge for full accessibility across our destinations.
So I would like to basically show few slides regarding a project that we are involved as Omrania and Edges Group. And the message here is more about how with small gesture we can make a big difference. And I would like also to use this project as an opportunity to talk about inclusive design, which for us is as Omrania and as Edges is very important.
When we're looking at the subject of accessibility, we look at it as two categories. So if we're prioritizing things, step one is safety for everyone. So within landscape, you need to get from A to B safely. The other one is to be also added is now that we're moving into more urban areas, civilizations, things like that, then you go into opportunities and resources. So again, all the activities should be for all.
We have to sort of think very broadly about accessibility in some of the ways that have been outlined by everyone who's been speaking today. So initially, I was looking through projects to show that, and I sort of decided instead to tell a personal story. And I think because a lot of our design thinking is shaped by personal experiences, looking at the way people use spaces, listening to your friends or family tell you about their frustrations, that teaches us a lot as designers. Let's stop thinking about disability and just sort of think about everyone has a different perceptive sort of approach to the world. and how can we address more of those needs?
To leave you with this last message, to look deeper in the issue of accessibility and social inclusion. And sometimes the barriers are more than what they seem, while the levels of exclusion can be surprising.